Welcome to this weekly beat with me, Matoma, and I'm so excited for today. As you know, it's my 10-year anniversary. I need to celebrate that. And the way I'm celebrating it is to bring people that have influenced me musically, but also with my artistry in a unique way over the years. First guest in this podcast that is anniversary material is Connor Ball, who is an amazing songwriter. He's an amazing bassist and guitarist, and he plays in the band The Vamps. And for you, you know, All Night, Staying Up, and he's been a part of it. He's a multi-talented guy. His story is quite unique. He started playing when he was a young kid, going into talent shows, then finding his band, and then breaking international. I can't wait to hear his story and just catch up with him. It's been quite a while since I saw him, so today is gonna be so much fun.
What's going on? How are you, man? Good to see you. Let me put my stuff in. Should I put it in the boot?
Yeah, just put it back here.
In the back? Okay.
Yeah, just put it in the back.
Sorry, I've got my guitar. I've got it all.
No, it's all good. I was saying to Maren, I should have bought the guitar because I was scared if you
I was gonna, yeah, don't worry. I bring it everywhere.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, of course.
Get in.
Let's go.
You smell like a million.
Mate, thank you so much. And you? I can't actually smell, which is
good to
weird.
see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Oh, you lost your smelling ability?
The COVID, yeah.
No, you have?
Yeah, it's gone. So I can smell.
Like after COVID, you completely lost your smell?
Yeah, pretty much everything's gone.
No
which
way.
It's good in some ways, and then in other ways it's like...
Yeah, when you're at the toilet, it
honestly,
doesn't hurt, but when you're at a good restaurant...
If anyone smells bad, I'd never smell that, but apart from that, yeah.
I smell horrible, dude. No.
Well, don't worry, you're good with me, so...
Well, how's life been?
Good, yeah, good. It's been quite... I guess different since we last saw you because we haven't been touring as much and stuff, but been good in other ways. So how about you?
No, life has been awesome. Same as you, hasn't toured that much as before. Yeah. But that has given me the opportunity to do side projects, and
amazing.
The fact that I could end up doing this. Inviting friends, you know, inviting artists, inviting people into my studio, make music that I love with them, and then just release it without thinking about it.
There's no pressure, right? Yeah, I've seen the episodes that are out. I love it, man. It's so good. Thank you for having me. It's amazing.
No, you know,
like to be here.
That is something I think people might not know about you. That you are so multi-talented.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, like you, from the years working with you guys, it's been just so much fun to not only hear about you in the industry, but everywhere I go, there's like touches of you everywhere. you know, you're
try.
Yeah, but you know, like, and you're putting your mark into the industry as a songwriter, and I know that you have your side project that you're launching soon, which is we need to talk about that.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's very early days, but I'm excited to do it because we've been in the dance kind of scene for a while. You know, we've had songs together, of course, but it's cool because everyone now in the band is off doing separate things for a little while, just while we have a break. And you know, it's cool to explore all these different avenues that we've maybe never done before.
Yeah, no, I see, like I've seen you, I've seen Trish doing and he's gotten a kid now.
He has a baby.
Yeah, and got married, and I saw that you guys were
married to the baby.
His best mates, and that made me so happy. I was sharing like a happy tear for him because I wrote him on Instagram saying like, from all the years knowing you, this is the most happy I've ever seen you.
Oh,
like this,
100%.
The smile on your face is the most sincere smile. And that makes me utterly happy.
Oh, me too.
To see him finally be happy, you know, and be, you know, like in ways like very comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, and to see the role he has as a dad. Oh.
Yeah, honestly, it's as you say, it's amazing. Like, you know, we see him as himself, and I feel like we've been waiting so long for the baby to happen, and now he's finally here. And like, obviously, Trish is going to be the best dad in the world. Like, there's no doubts about that. But I'm excited to see him be Daddy Trish, like in the flesh, because he's over in America, so we haven't seen him or met Ryder, the baby.
So he moved.
He's kind of back and forth, but
so
right now
she is from the US.
She's from the US, so
that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. But we want him back here as well, so we can, you know, start doing stuff. But
he's so talented, so that I understand. But I think like he's been in the hamster wheel for a long time.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And this just needs to happen because it is him, you know. It defines him as the person he is, the soul he has.
Yeah, of course. Having babies, like, it's part of you, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you considering babies or?
Not anytime soon. No. How about you?
You know, like me and Maren, we are getting married in August.
Yes, of course.
And I think maybe like in the horizon of a couple years span, maybe there is a baby coming. But there's no pressure and there's no overthinking, you know. Like if it happens, and it's a beautiful thing. But I think babies should come with love.
100%, yeah, definitely. It has to come from a loving place. And, you know, baby Matoma though.
Baby Matoma.
Piano genius.
You have.
That'd be so good. You have to.
You know, that would have been hilarious if baby Matoma would start playing the keyboard, but
early on, of course.
Early days. We're at the studio, so I'm just gonna drive into the garage, and then we can continue the chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Boom.
This is sick, man. Sick.
It's so amazing to have you in the studio.
Right, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Big up Oslo. How you doing?
I'm good. It's been 10 years where we both have had quite a journey.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to grasp my head around where to start. And I just remember one story that for me is quite unique. And it tells a little about you and your personality, your professionality, but also your uniqueness of being a humble person in a
thank you.
Crazy world. And it was the show we did, Good Morning America.
Yeah.
And I came in and I was so nervous.
Me too.
We were all nervous, but I remember so well. I had a show the day before at, I think it was Marquee, or if it was Terminal 5, or it doesn't matter. The only thing I was thinking about was that performance we were going to do at Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Because we were performing all night live for the entire population
and
of the US.
And it's live.
Yeah.
It's like, at the time it feels like everything, right? That performance is...
And I hadn't seen you guys.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time like we actually met.
Yeah, properly, yeah.
Properly in person.
Yeah.
And you just came up to me and you gave me the warmest hug.
You go, of course.
And you looked me in the eyes, I remember so well, and you said like, Tom, we're on Good Morning America, this is awesome. Like, we're doing it. And your enthusiasm and your love for the artistry and the musicality, and that we were going to perform live for all these people, that in many ways made my day, because I was so nervous. I was so fragile of the moment of because I was just a part of this.
A huge part, though.
Yeah, but still, you know, like, but you included me in a way that made me just like, these guys are family, you know, like it's.
Of course, yeah. I think it's different, like from being in a band where you're always in a group of people where you hype each other up, and you know we're bringing you in as like you on your own. You know, we wanted to make you feel just as much of a part of the band as we are. Do you know what I mean? And you were such a integral part of the song, and for the fact it was the first time us meeting you and you're about to shred the piano, we were just like, yeah, this is the guy. So we were so excited, obviously, because we'd worked before that, but we hadn't properly met.
No.
So to actually do it live was amazing.
And then we did the radio show in the UK. I flew over, and we created Staying Up around that time.
Yeah.
And we also did All Night Live on was it BBC?
Live Lounge. Yeah.
And that too was just so cool. And from my 10 year as an artist, there's Coachella, I remember.
Yeah,
like playing and performing Coachella.
Yeah.
But there's then the Good Morning America performance.
Me too.
With you.
That's a big one.
And then the Radio Lounge.
Sick.
Those three are the ones I remember the most.
That's so cool.
And at Coachella, I had Nico and Vince, who were my first guests in the podcast.
I saw that. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that.
And now you are here. And I'm
happy to be here.
And I'm honored because we share the same story, like growing up with the talent, you know, like you were finding your way in talent shows and...
Yeah, exactly.
And then you suddenly found a band. I found like a DJ friend at the local community in Trondheim when I was studying there, who became like my friend who helped me out. But I took my path on a single journey. But you multiplied it with a band.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Can you just like from the early days of you being a kid, just like walk us through the pathway up until the moment where you like met the Vamps and you like, this is my group, this is gonna be my foundation.
I think, as you say, we're both, like me and you personally, we're both from very small towns and communities. You were saying your town is like 1,000 people, which in a way mine was similar, maybe slightly bigger, but kind of grew up in the countryside with a very small group of friends. And I think when you have that, there's not like massive music communities or big things where you know you can be invited or it's very accessible for music and stuff. So if you're going to get into it, it's because of a passion that you have for music, where you have to kind of drive that forward, whether it be, as you say, you find a friend or you go into something. And I think mine originally started, my grandma got me a guitar when I was like 9. And it wasn't like, I don't even think I asked to have a guitar or anything. She was just like, this could be a cool thing. And it sat around for like 2 years and it looked great on the wall, but I just never played it. And
so
then,
for 2 years, that guitar was just talking to you?
Yeah.
And you did not touch it?
I probably picked it up a couple times.
But you didn't play?
No, I never tried to learn anything. And like, I don't know what it was. I think once I started listening to bands like Blink-182 and like Busted and McFly were a massive inspiration when I was like a kid and stuff. So I think when I started to learn songs from bands that I loved and then kind of piecing together like, oh, this chord is, you know, this is what they do. I want to try and be like them. That's when I kind of was like, oh, wow, I really love music and I want to kind of make a thing of this. So I think when I was like 12, 13, I started getting better at guitar and I never knew it could be like a career at this point. I was just like, I just enjoyed doing it. So I started to get into like high school bands, but we never had a singer we were like an instrumental band.
Yeah.
So we would cover like, you know, what's it called? Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It's like a Final Fantasy kind of thing. We started doing like instrumentals from that, which was cool because like none of us could sing. And it came to a point where I think our bass player was like, we need a singer, like you're doing it. And just looked at me and was like, you're learning to sing now. And so I was like, okay, but I'm like the shyest kid ever as well. So at school I was really shy. I didn't like, you know, have a huge amount of outgoingness and friends and whatever.
So you spoke through your music?
Yeah, I think so. Like, and I started to learn to sing, and I still don't think to this day like I'm an amazing singer, but I just enjoy it so much, and I think like having the freedom to say what you want to say through music is such a beautiful thing. And then so we were doing like that band for a little while, kind of covering like rock songs like Paramore and Blink-182 and stuff like that.
Do you remember the name of the band?
Yeah, it's called Sunset Skyline.
Oh, no way!
Which was, yeah, I mean, I think there's even still songs out there now, like, and I listen back and I'm like, those lyrics just don't make sense. There is not one, like, string.
So you can actually find them on the internet?
There's somewhere, yeah, you don't want to listen to them. It's bad. But I don't know, like, it was definitely a great stepping stone into, like, the world of being in a band and making music and stuff, and I think I'm still really good friends with those guys today. You know, they're still some of my best friends.
Was it organized through like a cultural, or was it just like volunteer? You found them, let's make a band.
They were just my best friends in school, and like we were in a music class together, and I think it's like we had to do a band project, and then we just put ourselves together. And there was actually a girl singer who came in for like honestly one lesson. And we were like, we're covering this. And she's like, no, I hate this. It was like some rock song. I think the band was Skillet. And she was just like, no, I'm out. So she left before we even did a first performance. So she hated it. So that's when I was like appointed. And I think through that, I mean, that happened. And then I started doing my own stuff as well, like on the side, like YouTube covers.
Yeah.
So I started doing like acoustic covers of, I think I did I Missed You by Blink-182 one. I started doing that, and then out of nowhere, our manager contacted me and was like, there's these three guys that have made a band. And at the time, I think it was called the Vamps. They were like together for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And so I went down and met them when I was like 15, I think. And then, yeah, from then on, it was like, you can leave school now. Do you know what I mean?
Crazy. But you know, so deserved, because talent doesn't grow on trees like people think. It actually comes from hard work. And the fact that you put yourself in that situation of uncomfortness, where you're like, oh, I'm no singer, but fuck it, I love this, I love music, let's go.
100%, yeah.
Look where that got you.
Yeah, I think anything that makes you uncomfortable is how you grow as a person. And I'm like, you know, I get anxious about things and I'm worried about stuff, but I think everything that I've been anxious about or uncomfortable with is always the things I look back at and think, I'm so glad I did that, and like, I'm so glad that happened. Like the Good Morning America thing, I think at the time I was probably like shitting it, really scared. And then I look back at that now and I'm like, that was one of my favorite things.
You know, at that show, like when I get nervous for a gig, my stomach just really
same, and my legs go to jelly like really bad.
Yeah, the only thing that helps me is like breathing through it. Just like knowing that okay, this has an outcome. Yeah, and it's soon to be over. Let's just finish it, and then I just.
Yeah, you have to.
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, and this is another thing. Like being in a band helps that so much. Yeah. Like I don't think I could have done any of this without the other boys. So yeah, I'm super grateful for that as well.
But now you're like slowly walking into a solo project, which is quite a big step in the direction I think is very natural for you, because over the years of working with the guys in the Vamps and being a part of a big band, like you always have to adapt and you always have to compromise your ideas.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of a group, and with the solo project, you can totally be just you.
It is. It's a beautiful thing as well, but it's hard because it's like sometimes if you're on your own, you never know if something's good or what. But it's nice to have the freedom to just go like every direction and see what works, because you can really have like freedom to be like, I'm going to do this for a bit, and if it doesn't work, I can go into this. Whereas if you're with other people, you kind of you funnel into a certain direction, which is great, and if it works, then perfect. But it's also nice to have like a bit of freedom to go outside the box as well. Like, so I'm excited for that chapter as well.
Yeah,
for sure. We'll see what happens, but early days.
But still, you know, even though it's early days, it's still a vision you have, and it's a vision that have a spark within you. And I think it's important that you, when you're in a crossroad like that, it's important that you make that decision from what you think is the best for you, not what's best for everybody else. And if that is to be creative within yourself, then that side project is necessarily for you to grow.
Yeah, I think it's always something like, I think as like a creative person, as you'd know, like there's always stuff that you want to explore just for yourself, just to like say like, I did that. Like whether it's for a month, whether it's for like 5 years, whatever, as long as you can say I did that for however long, you know, whether it be just like an itch you want to scratch for a certain amount of time, I think you have to do that to kind of get it out your system, because otherwise you'll never know, and that can create like also like anxieties of like, oh, what if?
Have you ever had any side projects where you like released music when you've been in the band?
Yeah, so I've had a band called Lunas, which is it's like a pop punk kind of project with another guy called Sasha. He's a drummer from Croatia who's amazing drummer, super talented. And we released I think 2 EPs, something like that. Which that was another thing, like, since I've been growing up, I've always wanted to do something in that pop-punk world, because I was just, like, this little emo kid that, you know, like, now I have tattoos. At the time, it was, like, everything I wanted, like tattoos and piercings and whatever. And so I feel like I've done that. I'm still super into that and want to release more. But, it's one of the things that, like, I'm saying, like, tick that off, do you know what I mean? Which is amazing. So, yeah.
I don't think there has ever been a EDM punk record.
There should be.
Yeah.
That's what they need to be.
Like a really energetic.
Yeah.
Like maybe that is something we should explore today.
That would be fun. Like a cool like EDM guitar bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always space for that as well. I know there's like guitar riffs in dance, but
you know, guitar usually in EDM is either like to make an atmospheric element, either like it's very floaty or it's like very rhythmic, where you have pluck guitars, or
that's it.
Or you can have like a guitar solo, to actually have like a punk riff.
Yeah.
I don't think that has been in an EDM song.
No, we should have a look at that. That would be fun.
And we should.
I think the mixing of genres is so cool.
Yeah.
I think because music is kind of genreless now as well anyway, so it's like...
But you know, like back in the days when we collaborated on All Night, it was a mix of genres meeting together.
Yeah, there's guitars in All Night.
Yeah,
and your synth parts.
And there is also, I think at the moment where we collaborated and we brought like the pop rock world into the EDM future house.
Yeah.
Like nobody had heard that before.
No.
And I remember, you know, the head of Universal who came with us for Good Morning America.
Yeah.
The older guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Is it David Massey?
Yeah.
Did he come? Yeah.
He came up to me and he was like, how did you come up with this idea? Like, it's so brilliant. Like, and you know, like, he was the guy that broke that record. Like, he really believed in that song. My Atlantic, you know, they were like, oh, we don't know, like it's so futuristic and we don't know if this sound is gonna fit the audience, and he was just like, fuck it, like this is the future, and he really believed in the song, and I am forever grateful for him.
Yeah, me too.
Because if the song had been released through my label, I think it wouldn't have gotten the shining light and the deservement of what it got.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because you need someone. Now you look back at the song, it was like so obvious that it would have worked for us and for at the time. But when you're doing it, you need someone to like champion the song and be like, yes, we're gonna go with this. No one else is doing it, but we want to do it, so let's make it work. And even going back on like the genre stuff, I can't remember what studio we were in, but we were recording "Staying Up."
Yeah,
and I think I was playing the guitar thing.
We were in London.
It was in London, yeah.
Yeah.
And I played the jangly guitar thing over the top of like your drop, and I was just like, this is so cool that we get to play guitars, but over a dance record.
Yeah.
And it still works. It still feels fresh and still feels good.
And you know, like what I hear when I send songs out to the guitarist, and especially with the Staying Up and All Night, is that when you record on the actual demo of the EDM song, you get the energy from it, you know? So you, in a way, play the guitar like you're a part of the track.
Yeah.
But when you get sent stems and then you're making an EDM song, like you can have, like you can get stems from like an acoustic session and it's like beautiful guitar parts, but they don't fit like the style and the sound of like, so when you pitch it or when you speed it up, it's like you still are missing like the artificial touch of like you're actually playing on this EDM song. Yeah,
I know what you mean. I think it needs to be like in the room at the time. And it's the same as like when you go back and vocal a song for the second time. It's always that first demo like magic that you get from whatever that is. Even if you record into like not as good mic or something, it just still has this like energy that you wouldn't get if you go and re-record it 3 weeks later or something, you know what I mean?
Do you like now in the process of music making, do you now rather of being too focused on the quality of like the recording? Do you just focus on like the most important thing, and that is the song part, the creating of the song? Yeah,
I think so. I think if you can hear that the song isn't recorded well and it's putting you off the song, that's when it's bad. But I think mostly the average listener doesn't care really that much. They care about the song. They want the song to be the main thing. And so if that comes across and the emotion from the music is coming across with the lyrics, then I don't think people care that much. You know?
Where do you find most inspiration when you make music, create music?
I think experiences are massive as well. But other music as well, other artists, other people's experience. Like, I don't always write off personally, like me, what I've been through. Yeah. I like taking, random things, like sayings people say, or just stuff that like makes you feel something. Like, because that doesn't have to come from me; it can come from anywhere. You could see some like an old couple in the street, like super in love and whatever, and think that would make a lovely song. So I think as long as it makes you feel something, then you relate to it in your own way. Like, I'm sure people with All Night, they listen to it and they take their own interpolation of what it's about. But I don't know, it completely differs every time, I think.
From the whole catalog of the Vamps, which song are you the most connected to, or like?
It's so hard.
Found out.
It's so hard. We have like 5 albums now.
Yeah, I know.
It's mad. Do you know what? There's so many songs that come and go, like, because I love going back and listening to like first album stuff. And I always say that Last Night is one of my favorites that we've ever done. And I don't know what it is about that. I think it's just like it has this groove, but it can still be played like in clubs. It can still be played like live. It goes down really well. And essentially the song is just about like drinking too much that you forget what happened last night. But for me, it's more like the feeling of that song is what, I love about it. But then I think the more recent albums are the ones that we've kind of really taken control of and done a lot of production stuff. So I think songs like Part of Me, I really love because we went away. We like got on Airbnb in the middle of nowhere and just recorded 5 or 6 songs in like 2 weeks and just like had the best time just as us 4 guys. So I think even songs like that, because of the experience we had writing them and recording them, that's what makes me kind of connect with it. Like I remember we were recording and I don't know if we were doing vocals or something, but we left the door open and this bat just flies into the room and just like we're trying to like record and this bat's just like banging into the windows and everything, and it's like things like little things like that are what makes you like remember and love those moments, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
So where is All Night on that list of...
So up top, of course. Like it's my manager told me that it's been almost 10 years since All Night, and I was like, what? But yeah, it's next year.
Yeah, 2016.
Mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
I think it was February or March 2016 we released it, and then it actually took 6 or 8 months until it started breaking.
Yeah.
Like we were doing Good Morning America around like, was it August?
I think so, yeah. It was
August, September.
I think so, because it was still like kind of hot outside, and when 2017, is that when it was at its top?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I remember hearing your first version of that and I was just like blown away because the drop was never there.
No, I know.
Like none of that melody was there.
The only thing I got sent was the vocals, your guitar parts, and I think it was like a pad or something. It was very, because when I usually, like either I make the song in the studio and if I get sent a demo, I always try and not get the
demo-itis.
Yeah, because then you always get like influenced, or you get like you shortcut and you start taking those parts, and then the whole creative process of like, why did they want to bring me into this in the first place is because I have something that they want for this record.
Yeah, exactly.
So I always try to minimize the influence from the demo, so I can impact the song as much as I can with my soul. And I was sitting in a closet in LA in an Airbnb with some friends that I had invited. They were just flying by from Norway, and I was having a couple of shows. I was on tour, bus tour with the Chainsmokers.
Sick.
And we were having a break in LA before we were going on tour again. And I had the stems for All Night. And I was sitting in that closet making the song. And I think the reason why I went into the closet was because it gave me the feeling of being back home in Trondheim. Because I
was going to ask where you did it, and that makes it even better.
Yeah, because I had a closet studio in Trondheim.
Oh, okay.
So I just set up a small table, closed the door. It was just a small space, and I sat there for 9-10 hours straight. I didn't go outside.
Wow.
Produced the song, sent the demo.
So you did it all in one session?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No. It was crazy. And then the morning, I didn't sleep because I was so excited for the track, for this record, for us, the collaboration. And the morning when I had delivered the song, me and my friends, we had rented a Mustang and we drove around LA, blasting the song in the car.
So good. I love that feeling when you kind of like know you have something you love and you just keep playing it until you essentially hate it. But it's the best feeling.
That song I've overplayed, but I've never gotten to a place where I hate it.
Yeah.
It's weird. All thing back, I can have moments in the set where I play it and it's like, oh, I don't think I can play it anymore, and then like, people come around. Oh no, let's play it again. but All Night is just like always so much fun because people just like, I've been up all night. You know,
it's
like
so fun to play.
Yeah.
Especially like for us doing it live, it's so fun because obviously we had like live drums and everything, and like I think at this point I've been playing electric guitar but super distorted, so we'd almost make it like a rock song as well. But it's always the synth, the dun dun dun. It just cuts through everything. Like even the distorted guitars, it's always cutting through, and like.
But you also you play the bass, don't you?
I play the bass in the band, but we just switch up a lot depending on the song. And I think because All Night has this like super thick like sub bass and stuff. It's just sometimes nice to put an electric guitar over the top of it as well, because I think James plays the lead along with your synth, and then I'm just playing these chuggy like electric, almost like metal chords, but it just works.
Do you use like the effects? Like,
James uses a lot of wah stuff. I just have like a thick distortion and just play it, but it works.
How do you do it on stage when you like change from playing the bass to the guitar? Do you have like a person that comes and switch, or do you have do you have the guitars on stage?
Because so like our guitar tech will come and switch them, because I have like different tunings for quite a lot of songs. So we'll just switch between them, and then like the Kemper will change all of our settings at the time. So it's like, it's the easiest thing ever, because I don't need to go up to like pedals and press things, and it just does it automatically. So I can still run around, look silly and have a great time, and I don't need to worry about that stuff. So it's...
How many, like, do you know how many times, like, do you have a record of changing?
Every song pretty much. Sometimes it's bad. Like I feel bad because our guitar tech's like juggling all these guitars, and he usually does mine and Brad's guitars. So he's got like one here, like around his neck. There's one here, like one on his back. I'm just like, how are you doing this? But it is great. It like, respect to him more than anything. Like I feel lazy at this point.
So you basically travel then with a truck filled with guitars and.
I think like we all probably have like 7 or 8 guitars on tour at once.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, really annoyingly, we lost one of my favorite guitars ever recently. Yeah, it was like this custom bass that has like a yin yang pattern on the front and on the top, and it has lights down it, and it had like my initials, and it got lost by some.
Do you have a picture of it?
Maybe.
You have to send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like my favorite bass ever. It's like this one of one custom bass, and it's just like, it's somewhere. I don't know where, but it's out there. Maybe one day it'll come back to me. I don't know.
Suddenly it just like pops up.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. It just like appears on my doorstep one day. You know, like I don't know, in them films where like babies just appear at the door or whatever. It's just like, but yeah.
But besides losing your favorite bass, do you have like a favorite moment of being an artist and being in a group of just amazing people? Like
I think,
shows, like
it
doesn't even need to be a show. It could just be.
Yeah, I think there's so many that are hard to pick from, and I feel so grateful to have had all these moments that we can then look back on. I think for so long, we never had a #1 album. Like our first album went #2, and our second album was like, I don't know, 5 or something. And then it came to our most recent album, and we were like, there's just no way. Like, we've been a band for this long, and luckily our fan base had just been so supportive throughout everything. And that album went to #1, and I think the payoff of like 10 years of like such hard work for everyone, and then we finally get this #1 album. I think that was like oh my God, like, no, I don't know. We felt grateful before that, but then when it actually happened, it's like, wow, like, you know.
But you know that is the power of taking care of your fans.
I hope so. Yeah.
And that is one thing that I wanted to say in the podcast. Over the years, seeing how good you've been with your fans, that has really inspired me to have the same ethos as you. You see every single person in the show. And when we did the 10-year anniversary for you guys in Barcelona, and I flew over and I participated, I was standing in the crowd after I played with your fans. And I don't even think they noticed it was me. And they were standing there and like, oh, I hope they play all night, you know, like, and I had just played all night, you know, and I want to hear it again. And I was standing there with so much joy and also proudness, because not only are we friends and we have stayed close for so many years, but we also share something so unique that we have created these moments for all these people to enjoy. And I was standing there watching your show, and there wasn't one moment of the entire concert, and that concert was 2 hours, where people were not smiling.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
From you went on stage until you walked off stage, smiles all over, and girls were crying, boys were crying. It was just like a room filled with emotions.
Yeah.
And also the way that you speak to your fans, the way that you throw out, like, you know, the guitar picks.
Yeah, I've definitely hit too many people in the face with those.
Yeah, you know, at the Barcelona show, you were quite. I could tell that you were excited because these picks were
keep flying out.
They were flying out like like stickers.
It becomes like a competition between like me and James, who can like throw them the furthest. And then I remember I hit someone in the eye once, and I was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then just holding the pick up in the air. I'm like, "Okay, she's okay. I feel bad. I've not got a law case on my hands." But yeah, no, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm glad that people can come and enjoy everything that we've kind of made and stood for, because that's what it's about, really, isn't it? You come and you go to, like, I go to a gig and I want to be stood there and enjoying it with everyone here. It's like a family event, isn't it? You know what I mean? You come and you're not just there on your own. You're here with all these other people that are here for the same reason. And I think throughout the years, we've had fans that have come back to like 70, 80 shows. And I'm like, have we even played that many shows? This is wild. It's so good. But then now fans are like, they've grown up with us and they're having children, and like we see the same people coming like down to the shows, but they've now got like a baby, and it's like, thank you, now you're bringing more fans in. But, you know, but it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's so good. It's
the circle of life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if we can keep those fans and bring in new people that still enjoy our music and are finding out about us for the first time, and for yourself too, then I think it's all you can do, really. You know, you just keep going. And
you know that after party when I was meeting all your parents.
Is this the whiskey bar?
Yeah. The secret whiskey bar.
Yeah, because you bought everyone this whiskey.
Yeah, I got excited, you know, like we were there, 10-year anniversary for you guys, and I saw you've had so much success.
Yeah.
And as brothers, you know, I wanted to treat you guys with a good whiskey.
I don't know how much you spent, but thank you. That was wild. My dad, after that night, he always says to me, like, why don't we go to Matoma's cabin? Like, I need to see the cabin, because it's like this mysterious place that everyone wants to go to. And I'm just like, it sounds unreal. So,
You know, it is a far drive from Oslo.
Yeah.
I would have taken you there on this trip, but it's too short. But you know, your dad was the sweetest. I was having the most lovely conversation with him over that whiskey, actually. And I said, how do the boys look so sharp all the time? Because if you look at me, I have bags under my eyes. No. And he laughed, and he was like, look at me. and you know, your dad is a good-looking man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, he is. And I said, what do you mean, look at you? And he said, good genes. And then he just laughed, and he took another sip of the whiskey.
Maybe he had too many of those whiskeys.
No, but his energy, priceless. And Brad's dad, you know, like, just the fact that you have all these dads that are proud of their sons.
Yeah, definitely.
And that are there for them, you know, backing them, encouraging them. Like, that is role models to look up to.
Definitely. I think it's such an important part of like how we've stayed, I think, as a band, really. Like, we've had such a good support system of, like, our families all get on. They come to so many shows. They're always like we can speak to them about anything. Like, I know that I could speak to not even just my parents. I could speak to the other boys' parents and like about anything. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but that I noticed. You know, like, you guys were sitting there. It was almost like you were one big happy family. It wasn't like, oh, that's Brad's parents, that's your parents. Like, everybody were just like loving and caring, and I haven't seen it before, like in a band community like that, where it's everybody's taking care of each other. Yeah. And same with your photographer, same with Joe. You know, all of the people that you've had in the team has like really taken care of you.
Yeah, I feel really grateful for that. I think because I was 15, 16 when I joined the band. And like, I just came out of school. I was quite like a shy kid. And to have that instantly where I felt like even when I'm away from home, I still have a family like that are there 24/7. Like, you know, we're on different time zones all the time. I can't just pick up the phone to my mom and speak to her like 3 in the morning when she's got work the next day, you know what I mean? So to have people around like that, like, as you say, like Joe, and now like everyone in our management now, but to have that any time of the day is just like amazing.
Yeah.
And, like,
because people, I don't think people understand what it is to suddenly be that person who is in the spotlight all the time and who needs to take responsibility of letting your daily life basically disappear out the window.
Yeah.
Because it basically is what happens.
Yeah.
Like your routines, your local community, like maybe your vision of like staying close to your family. You know, you're a family person, I'm a family person. That all goes out the window immediately when you decide, I want to be a touring artist.
Yeah, it is overnight as well. Like, I think for it depends how you come up, but like, I think for us it was very much like, okay, you're leaving school now and you're basically not coming home for, I don't know, 3 to 5 years or something. And you never think about it until you look back at it and being like, oh my God, I was literally not at home. I didn't see my family for ages. And yeah, I don't think anything can prepare you for that as much as I wanted it and like to be touring and everything. I don't think there's anything really that can prepare you for that. Like school doesn't prepare you for that. So you are kind of thrown in at the deep end. And I think that does come with like worries and like anxieties and all these things. But yeah, having the support network around you is like huge, I think.
James has been quite open with his like openness around his anxiety.
Yeah, mental health. Yeah.
Mental health, and I think like he is a very good example of having a good network that allows him to be him.
Yeah.
And when he can be himself 100%, he then makes a decision of, you know, I want to use my platform to have awareness on mental health. I want to use it to give people information about this because it's important.
Yeah.
Instead of just being this social media, like, you
everything's
know,
perfect.
Yeah, you know, it's so good that you have young people that takes on the responsibility of advocating something that is tough in life. And you know, like when I called you guys for Stronger Together, the charity event, like you didn't doubt, like you jumped on the plane, even though 100%. You were slammed with tour, you were slammed with work, you jumped on, did the show for all these kids.
Yeah, but it's such an important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But you know, that shows character and it means the world.
Same, like the fact that you're doing that festival is like, it's amazing. I think, you know, you are right where it's like, for young people going into anything now, going into any job, like it's not just as simple as like, you go in and you're going to be fine, you're going to do this for the next 30 years. There's going to be ups and downs and you have to be able to talk about that, I think, like when it comes to it. Like, as you say, James has spoke about it so much and he was definitely such a help for me when I was going through like a really low time and like touring is full of like anxiety and you don't know when the next time you're going to be home is and everything. So I think, yeah, speaking about it and knowing that other people are going through it is such like a weight off your shoulders and people need to see that growing up. Because I think more than ever now it's getting spoken about, but it's taken, I don't know, like it never was when I was a kid, do you know what I mean? Like the bands that I look up to, I don't think I would have ever seen them talk about it just because it wasn't the norm back then. But I'm so glad it's kind of getting that way at least, you know? Yeah,
you know, it's cool to show that you can be tough, that you can be a bit masculine, but also have vulnerability, have sides of you that you can talk about, show to people that I'm human.
Yeah.
It's very natural to be human, especially under pressure. And when you tour, you're under pressure all the time. Have there any been like a moment of touring where you've been like, fuck, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, 100%. I've definitely had like multiple moments where I've just been like, fuck this. Like, not that I wanted to like leave the boys, but it was just I wanted to leave the situation that I felt like if I'd had like some time out, then I would have been okay. But I don't think it's as simple as that as well. Like, I think if I'd just left the band, then I would have been just as unhappy. Like, it wasn't I didn't want to be in the band. No. It's just I wanted to be able to deal with the situation that I was in and enjoy it, because it was like it's such an amazing thing to be able to do, and you feel so lucky to be able to do it and have these experiences where, like, you know, my friends at home maybe aren't experiencing these things, and I'm like, well, why aren't they doing what I'm doing? Because they would love it. And so you kind of beat yourself up about it, and you have to realize that, like, you know, you're so young. Just, I don't know. There was a thing you said on one of the other podcasts on this that I was listening to, and it's when you just accept where you're at, that's when you start to heal. Like, it's when you're looking for things to make you feel better that you don't feel better, because you're looking for all these ways to like cover the I don't know, you're just patching up something that isn't gonna happen. You have to just like let it be and ignore all these feelings, and then you will like truly enjoy, you know, what you're going through, which is kind of what happened to me, I think, and for the other boys as well.
Yeah, and look where you are now.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see, and I remember at the Stronger Together event, the after party, we were quite tired, all of us.
Yeah.
And you were especially tired, but you wanted to have a good night, and you came up to me and you were like, Is there anything happening after this, Tom? and I looked at you and I said, Connor, maybe it's time to go to bed now.
Yeah, I could feel that. Yeah.
Do you remember it?
I do remember it. Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, maybe it's time.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to Maren the next day and I said, I really hope the guys, especially Trish and Connor, finds their inner peace, because at that moment I could see a restlessness in you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I saw it in Trish as well. And then the other day, just I saw on his Instagram, like being a dad, getting married, like all these beautiful things happening in his life.
Yeah.
And then meeting you now and seeing you, feeling your energy.
Definitely.
Like you're in a total different place now than you were when I met you last time.
100%. Yeah, I think you get to a point where sometimes, like, not that I felt like I drank too much or anything, but like you just get to a point where you're looking for, like, you never want the night to end because you feel like there's more to some, and there's not a lot of the time. It's just like you're just chasing something that isn't there. Like the things like with the festival is a beautiful thing. Like it's so good. But then I think when you're on tour, you get these like adrenaline spikes, and you just never want it to come down. So it's like that's your kind of drug, and you just want to keep doing that and getting more of that. And sometimes that gets a bit much, and it definitely like has an effect on like your body, your mental health, and everything. So you kind of feel like you have to keep doing that and keep doing that.
No, but it was good for me to see you two like that, because it also gave me. I feel that all the time from touring.
Yeah,
like having that adrenaline kick, playing in front of so many thousand people, being nervous. You know, before the show, is something gonna happen? Is something like, can something go wrong? Like being nervous, and then you release all that nervousity into adrenaline, and then you have like a euphoric moment of just like, holy smack, this is like, this is insane.
The best thing ever, yeah.
And when you do that over so many years, I think it's a natural thing that happens in the mind and the body, where it's like, I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
I just want it to continue.
It's like you gain like a tolerance to it, and you want it to keep going.
Yeah. Maybe that is a song title or a song idea. Like you build up so much like inside of you that you can't release.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a tension within you that always like it's
always building.
Yeah.
And you know, that's cool. And it's like it never releases because you're always looking for something else. When it's like maybe just like look for what's in front of you. That's kind of the most important thing most of the time, you know.
But before we start making a song, I have one final question, and that is, we have so much history in the past, and now we're gonna have history in the near future.
Yeah.
What lies in your horizon in the next year?
I think for the first time saying it, I'm looking at kind of doing, as we were saying before, like a solo kind of thing, whether it be more in the dance space, which is I'm really looking forward to. Not sure on like exactly what that's called yet, but I'm excited. And because me and Tris have been working on this like DJ set as well, which is slightly separate, but alongside that, I would definitely want to release some original music, whether that be under my name or something different. I don't know, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you have to come up with a name pretty quick.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because we're releasing a song.
Honestly, well, there's a couple that are names that are in the works, but
so for people that are hearing this podcast, basically they are gonna experience the first collab with your solo project.
Yeah, that's gonna be the first thing. So let's go. Let's make it good.
let's make a banger.
I'm excited. No, thank you.
What is your cologne? It smells so good.
I think it's YSL.
Man.
I wish I could smell it. I don't even know what it smells like.
Damn.
It's so weird.
The song you're hearing is Infinity, and me and Connor Ball, we had such a blast reconnecting in the studio. It's over 10 years since we released All Night, and this song, Infinity, is a product of our souls connecting in the most powerful way. It's out on Friday, pre-save, give it some love if you want to, and the best thing, we're gonna do it all over again next week. Catch you later, and remember to spread that love.